anymore. I don't understand how I make $34 an hour and I can't function. I can't function. I can't pay my bills. I can't even literally keep gas in my car to get to work 3 days a week because I can't afford it.
It's heartbreaking to watch, to say the least. But did you know you could save up to half of your monthly electricity bill by just switching from hot to warm during your laundry loadings? Well, now you know. And to be honest, what that lady is trying to express, there is something most people across the globe are currently going through. Everything is becoming super expensive, and everyone is beginning to wonder if we are going to even be able to survive this with whatever we have. And as somebody who grew up having to pinch pennies literally to survive, I grew not just thick skin, but also tips and practices that I grew up with that helped me to ensure that I never ended up on the streets homeless or lacked something to eat or to wear. Because to be honest, that was a possibility. And today I'm going to share these tips with you. I'm not going to ask you to quit your job and get a new job or look for a second or a third job. I'm going to give you the daily tips that will help you cut down so much on your expenditure and consumption that you can be able to save and even have a more comfortable living at the moment with the crisis we have. So if you're coming here for the first time, my name is Sela. You are so welcome to join us. And if you are returning, thank you so much for always coming back to the family. You guys are my second family. And for the newcomers, if you want to join the family, just subscribe down there to join us. Well, come on, do it. I'm waiting. Okay, thank you so much. And let's go do this. For the holiday and vacation lovers, I know you people who can't stay for 5 years without going for a vacation. You'd rather die? You people. Did you know that if you book your flights for Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they're cheaper than flights on the weekend and Monday? Now, if you're going to be booking a flight, make sure the flight dates fall on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You're going to spend cheaper or less money than if you book for Monday and Fridays. And if you're going to be booking for the beach vacations, we have beaches in Kenya, so I've done this before, I know it. If you're going to book for the beach vacation, make sure you don't book the beachfront hotel. It's more fun, I know. You are in your room and you can see the water and everything, and you can literally just walk to the beach from your dreams. But you want to save money, right? Listen to me then. You want to avoid the beachfront resorts and hotels. Make sure you're going to be booking the hotels which are behind the beaches, like 5 minutes walk to the beach. They're there. There are very many, and they're very cheap compared to the beachfront hotels. Sorry for my dress. Compared to the beachfront hotels, they are much cheaper. What you're going to do is book the hotel which is 5 minutes walk to the beach, but then you only use it to sleep. And then during the day, you call the beachfront hotel or resort and ask them, how much do you charge for me to use the beach during the day? They're going to be giving you the beach couch, or whatever you call it, the towels and everything, and you're going to be paying a little money just for that to use it during the day. And that way, you're going to be spending less than a half of the money you would have spent if you booked the beachfront hotel. That also happens with the big hotels, the five-star hotels in the city. That happens in Kenya, for example. If you're coming to vacation in Kenya, you can book a cheaper hotel, maybe a 3-star hotel, but then call Hilton or other bigger hotel to book for only the daytime use, and you pay some little money. At the end of the day, you get the beauty from both sides, but you pay half the price. This is also the time when you want to think about your car. Are you comfortable with that car at the moment? Really, are you comfortable? Because there's no shame in downgrading to a cheaper car. And by cheap, I mean cheaper in price, buying price, maintenance fee, fuel consumption. If you are leasing the car, can you change your car to a cheaper one for the lease? Because there's no need going to be spending much more money on a car that you might not end up owning if you can't pay for it, remember? So make sure that you're okay, you're comfortable downgrading to a cheaper car. I did that once. I used to have a newer car which was giving me a lot of headache because I was suffering financially. So I just sold it and bought a cheaper car, older one, lower consumption, white. Fun fact, Kenyans, I don't know if other countries are the same, but did you know that white cars are easier to maintain than other colors? Now you know. Electricity bills, what we used to do is just unplug the electronics when you're not using them. Instead of just switching them off, most of the electronics around the house actually use electricity after you switch them off. So what you're going to do is unplug them from the socket so that they stop consumption. And this way you're saving up to 10% of the electricity you're using at the end of the month. This one electronic you can never unplug at all. The refrigerator. The fridge has to stay on. The best way to save your energy while you're using your fridge is to always cover. You see those Ziploc bags? Put your foods in the Ziploc bags. That way you are minimizing the amount of moisture they're going to be losing, hence using a little less electricity than normal. You're going to save a lot by doing that. Try to practice that. Always cover your food while you are refrigerating them. That way you'll be saving energy. For the people whose jobs allow them to work from home, this is the time when you want to take the maximum advantage of that. Try to work from home as much as you can. That way you are commuting less and you're saving on commuting charges, either fuel or public transport fares. You're still saving. Whatever you save, it counts. And for the people who love to work out, like me, instead of insisting on that gym membership, you want to think about canceling it and work out from home. I've been doing it. It works for me. It can work for you. It can work perfectly, by the way. So you can maximize exercising from home or working out from home and work less in the gym. That way you'll be spending nothing on the workout, basically. So you want to consider that. If your job has no option at all to work from home and you have to commute to work every day, then, like me, then you have to look at your options. If you live in the city, like most people, then it's cheaper to use public transport. So at this the time when you want to maximize the use of public transport more than driving to work, As for me, I don't live in the city, so it's cheaper to use my own car. So you can consider that if you live in an area where it's cheaper to use your own car than to use public transport, then go for the cheaper option. You want to sit down and just consider which way works best for you. Cut everything you can. And for the people who love to buy clothes like me, well, don't do it. This is not the time. Really, don't do it. Stop unnecessarily spending on clothes at this time, especially, at least, because I'm sure you have clothes somehow. You're not walking naked. So you want to minimize the amount of expenditure you put on clothing at this moment. And if you have to buy clothes, you can only take advantage of the sales. If you love a dress so much, or a pant or a suit for the guys so much, and you really want to buy it, most of these things reduce in prices after a while. Wait for a month, the prices are going to go down and you can get it at that time. So only buy clothes if the prices are so good and so low at the moment. Like for me, what I do, online shopping of clothes, for example, wait for the flash sale hours. I bought clothes for as little as $1. A clothes I could have bought at $100, not 100 but $10. Truth, I have a dress which I bought for 200 shillings. That the same dress is now selling for 1,400 shillings. So take advantage of the discounted hours or days. Make sure you buy the clothes only when they are discounted and only when you have the money to spend on clothes. Because at this point, we are going to go for priorities. What's more important? We go for the things we need, not the things we just want. Because for the clothes, we can survive with the ones we have at the moment. So another way to make sure you still look amazing and beautiful without spending on clothes is just go to your wardrobe and look for the clothes you can pair with each other. You have a lot of clothes, by the way. You can pair this and this. There's a dress you've never worn with, or a top you've never worn with certain pants before, and you try them now and they look amazing. Try that. They look like a new clothing you just bought, by the way. So try pairing whatever you already have now. That way you're going to end up having at least not to spend so much on clothing, but still look good. The phone plans and internet, there's always a cheaper option. Can you call your provider and ask them if they have a cheaper option for the internet provision? And also the phone, there are people who use phone notes. How do you call it? Phone plan, yeah. There are people who have phone plans where you pay amount of money every month to own the phone. For other countries, for us, we buy everything in cash. But for the countries which have phone plans, can you get a cheaper plan, a cheaper phone? These are simple things, but they are things that are going to cut down your expenditure so much that you'll notice the difference. Make sure you go for a cheaper internet provider or plan and a cheaper phone plan. It's simple, but it's going to cut down. The meal plans. This is something I did as a child that I'm still doing as an adult. Meal planning is just writing a table. When your finances are tight, you can write a table of all the meals you're going to be eating through the month. This way, you are minimizing the amount of times you go to the grocery store, thus saving the commuter charges and fuel from and to the store every day. Number one. Number two, it also minimizes the possibility of you having an impromptu purchase. How many times have you gone to the store to buy eggs, but you end up buying something more expensive that you never even intended to buy? You didn't even have to buy it, but because it's so tempting, you end up buying it. That's something you can do. You write a whole month of meals and then you buy them once. You're going to be saving a lot of pressure, time, and money from that. And also, you can also help. It helps you also to adjust your expenditure. If you think that at the end of the day, I'm going to be spending too much on food, you can actually always adjust to the way you can accommodate and the way you can afford easily without having to pressurize yourself too much. And after finally deciding on what you're going to buy for the whole month, you want to make sure you buy everything in bulk. Always prefer the cheaper brands, mostly the store brands. For example, Many, if a sugar is branded Many, is most probably cheaper than another more expensive brand. In Kenya, for example, if it's a Naivas sugar, it's going to be mostly cheaper than other sugars which have other brands. It is, by the way. So make sure you go for the store brands, which are always cheaper, and buy them in bulk. One person once said that the rich people spend less money on groceries than the poor people. And it's true, because the rich people mostly buy in bulks and you end up spending much less money. But the poor person can't afford the 100 kilos of sugar at once. So most probably they're going to buy like 1 kilo every time they go to purchase. They end up spending much more money at the end of the month. So make sure you go for the store brands and buy in bulks. You're going to be saving a lot. So the dishes, how do you do your dishes? It's more expensive to hand wash your dishes. Did you know that? If you're going to be hand washing every time you use your dishes, then you're gonna end up using so much more water and electricity because you are heating the water, remember? So the best way is always to stock the dishes in the dishwasher and make sure it's full before you wash it. Make sure you stocked it full before you wash. That way you are going to end up washing a lot more dishes using the same amount of energy and water. So the best way is to never hand wash and always make sure the dishwasher is full before you start running it. For the people who heat their waters in tanks, make sure the tank is insulated. That way you are ending up holding the water hot for a longer time and you'll be heating less at the end of the day. So if you're using an insulated water tank, then the water you are going to be heating once and using it the whole day. You see, compared to the tank which loses energy every time the water is heated. So you want to make sure the tank is insulated. If it's not, then try insulate your tanks. You're going to be saving a lot of energy and electricity. At the end of the day, whatever you decide to do, always remember we are together in this. You are not alone, and every person is going through this, and we are going to get through this stronger and better. And for everybody who listened to the end of this video, thank you so much. And until next time, see you.